wearing, diamond ring wearing, kid stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kid stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. We Rick flaring on it. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kid stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. Jet, we Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Rick flaring, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death. I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. When I open like Betty Wops and find to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My ground repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. We Rick flaring on it. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. We Rick flaring on it. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase, yeah, Bubba C, yeah, Rick flaring on him, Rick flaring on him, Rick flaring on him, Rick flaring, sun up, baby.
Hey, yo, Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's backpack, capital one. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man, A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the swag, pull up where you at, no cap. If the Brody is speaking, it's all facts. My advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeants are with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered the least. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walking, cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Scotty back with another one, man. Happy Monday to all you Bama's out there. Listen, very tough starting to a Monday, okay? Now, let me be very clear. I'm going to say this up close and personal right in the beginning of the show because most of you Bama's don't even make it to the end. I was too ready, okay? I was too ready to jump on here and tell y'all how Deion Primetime Jesus Christ Jr. pulled an Urban Meyer and was out the gate 88. I was too ready. I'm sitting over here like my mouth is just, I'm like, oh, I'm about to go. I'm about to be on one today. And then he dropped the C word. And I'm like, I'm over here like, I'm watching it. I'm watching it right here. I'm just like this. Damn. And you know, and for me, I just felt so much remorse for him because I've seen two grandparents go through cancer, right? My grandmother had breast cancer. My grandfather had lung cancer. And I've seen both sides of that, right? And I know, again, I can't speak to bladder cancer because nobody in my family has had that, but I can speak to the trials of going through cancers. I've seen the medicine, the amputations. It's just one thing after another. Because listen, I was too ready to drop my receipts, huh? About to be a smash and dash. It's about to be Shador and Travis get drafted, and then they out.
Sheesh.
You get what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
I think it could go two ways. Deion either leaves when Shador leaves because he's ill and tired. I was too ready. I'm telling you, I had the receipts. I had the receipts loaded, locked, loaded, and I was about to be out here. I'm telling you, I was ready. And then he dropped the C word because I thought it was going to be like headaches, leg aches, pains, like stomach pains. I don't know. Just not the C word, right? Like, I'm like, cancer. Oh my God. I felt like it hit me like a ton of bricks because I'm like, I know how that feels. I know, like, being the person watching that person go through it, you're like, is today going to be your day? Is today going to be your day where you out of here? Is today going to be the day where you can't do this or you can't do that or you can't go through this or you can't move like this and you can't. It is, if you've never seen somebody go through it, you do not understand. I had a cousin, I had a female cousin who had stage 4 prostate cancer, and they gave her a 15% chance to live. Stage 4 prostate cancer. She was 25 at the time, 24, 25 at the time when she got diagnosed with it, went through chemo, did all that type of stuff. And it just seeing her go through that from a distance was crazy enough, right? So I want to be very clear, and I want to apologize to the family of the Sanders, the whole Sanders family, right? Because it's like, I was ready. I'm talking about locked, loaded, and ready. And at the end of the day, and I always say this, as loud as the disrespect has to be, is just as loud as the apology has to be. So I have to come on here and apologize to the Sanders family, because going through that and still having the humor, the laugh, the upbeatness, the wheel, the testimony, like you can see colon cancer. I'm sorry, colon. It was colon cancer. I'm sorry, it was colon cancer. My bad. Thank you. It was colon. She ain't trans. She ain't none of that. It was colon. It was the booty. Okay. My bad. It was colon. It's so many cancers. Stop playing with me. Okay. There's so many cancers. Stop playing with me. I don't know. Okay. It's a lot. But anyway. At the end of the day, colon. Okay. It was colon. All right. But at the end of the day, man, like I said, I want to apologize to the Sanders family. I truly and sincerely hope that he continues to progress. Because listen, man, at the end of the day, this is all entertainment. And when you're talking about somebody's livelihood of life and death, that's where, like, I say it all the time. It's all football for me, right? It's all football for me. Like, I don't like to get too personal with a lot of people. It's football, it's athletics, it's sports, it's entertainment, it's competition. But when you cross that line between life and death, like, it's like, bro, like I pray that everything in your life that you deserve, you get while God has you on this earth, right? And Deion was absolutely right. If you don't believe in If you don't believe in Jesus Christ, if you don't believe in God and you have whatever, that's your belief. But he is absolutely right. God puts on you the things that you can handle because A, he knows you can handle it, and two, you become the testimony. And who has a bigger platform than Deion Primetime Sanders to tell people to go get checked up, to go tell black men, Hispanic men, white men, just men in general, hey man, listen, if I had no symptoms, I had no issues, I had no problems, I wasn't bleeding in my urine, I wasn't doing any of that, I got checked up, and boom, I found out I had bladder cancer. And to that, listen, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. There's a lot of things that I feel that Deion does wrong, right? But in this form and faction, you have to. I don't even understand how you can't be on his side. And I've been the biggest critic. There's no bigger like opponent to Prime than probably myself, right? There's no bigger opponent to Prime than probably myself. But you got to be on his side to push through, to fight through, and then continue to coach. Like think about that. Like everybody's waiting for the ball to drop that he says, you know what? Because nobody would have been mad if Deion would have said, hey, today is my last day coaching Colorado Buff, the University of Colorado. Nobody in their right mind would feel any type of way, because it's like, bro, this is your life. You have sons, you have daughters, you have grandkids now. Like, we understand that time could be spent with them, and you riding off into the sunset with your millions and your success and whatever that might be like, just to make sure you're spending time with your family and getting and soaking up all the goodness that it can. So nobody would have been mad at him for it if today was his last day. But to see Prime there and said, hey, I'm trying to win a national championship at Colorado, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, that's a different type of competitor. I'm just being honest. That's a different type of competitor. That's a different type of mindset. Because I'm telling you, if it was me, I'm gonna cry my way back to the house. Okay, if it was me and I coached my son's 10U team. Okay, I'm an assistant coach of my 10U team. If God forbid, if the C word hit me, I'm crying back to my wife, and that 10U team would never see me again, okay? You might not even see my son, because I want to spend time with my son, right? But for me, you just have to respect Prime on, that's built different. I'm just keeping a buck with you. Like, that's built really, really, really different because of how you're able to put your needs aside and still step up and show up for your team in Colorado. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm rooting for him this year. I'm not gonna hold you. Now, if some shit goes sideways and I don't like it, that C word ain't gonna protect him. But I will say I am on the Prime bandwagon this year. I really truly hopefully that his team comes through for him, because what he is putting on the line day to day, you got to respect it. And as a player, now I'll say this, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to say this. New recruits, I don't see them going to Colorado. I really, like, if I was a new recruit, like if he was for 26 and 27 and 28, you gotta be looking at Prime a little different, because you're just like, at the end of the day, I don't know. I just don't know, right? Like, he can have all this, he can say all this year, and he can come back and coach and do all this, but for 26 and 27, I would be looking at it. Colorado wouldn't be a very high. Colorado wouldn't be a very high place to go, because you got to be honest. You just got to be a little careful about, do I really want to go to Colorado? Because I'm going for Prime anyway. And if he just sold that, because again, nobody can get mad at Prime if he decided to walk away this year, next year, or the year after next, because of what he's gone through and what he has to give to his family at the end of the day. Rocky, coming to you. Call lines are open, guys. Rocky, coming to you. And if you come with me, with some greatest stuff on, I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear that. Okay.
This is what I'm saying, okay. Scotty. First off, I want to say, Scotty, is I'm so proud of you for acknowledging this struggle and putting all your pettiness aside and recognizing the humanity in this moment.
Absolutely.
So I want to commend you on that.
Absolutely.
Brother. That's something you know, a lot of people struggle with sometimes. You know, they petty kind of overtakes them, and they become one big ball of petty, and they petty in every situation. Where even to the point that they root against people in situations like this. And I'm so glad to know that my good friend and brother is not one of those people that's consumed by his petty.
No. Because I look at it like this, Rocky, real quick, before you go, because I want to stay on there real quick. Like, I can't speak to the goodness of God in my life. I can't speak to what Jesus has done in my life. And then when it comes down to the pure humanity of life, I can't respect what somebody's troubles or their trials and tribulations have been, and see God pull them out, and then talk about, oh, this is a publicity stunt, or you just trying to get attention. The attention is well deserved, because it's like, bro, if it was not for God, I came out on the other side of this, and now I'm a walking testimony to tell people to go get checked up and go get this bladder cancer and make sure you're good to go and check on your family and get your listen. How many times do we say black people die without leaving wills, without leaving money, without no insurance? Like, Deion is really speaking to the community that he's from, to say, listen, I had to get my stuff in order, and I got to make sure everything is right. And that's just the pure humanity of life. That has nothing to do with sports and competition and me and petty. But go ahead, Rocky, do your thing.
No, and I was gonna say this. I think people struggle with his attitude in the midst of adversity. Some people see it as being pious and almost arrogant sometimes. But in this moment, you get to see that arrogance and that piousness is about who he is to a fault.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What I mean by that is he believes the very thing that you are unable to believe in that moment. You understand?
That's good.
Like, in this moment,
that's good.
When I would ball up and cry,
boy,
and just be weeping in sorrow about my situation, right? This dude is facing the world, having to put on a face, be who he is, and just think about this, people. He got cancer in his body, right? He watching his son be devalued in the draft, right? And at the same time, right, people are saying, oh, they giving him the humbling that he needs. This is a public, what they call it, a public
castration, like a castration, or like a public embarrassment.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is embarrassing, and the whole time, and I'll give it credit. Not him, nobody in his team, nobody in his family has acted out or been uncivilized, ignorant, or none of that in this situation. And it's a testament to what I truly believe that he has brought to his family and the people around him, is when everybody else believes one thing, he's able to tell them something totally to the contrary, and they're able to believe it, man, because they see him live it, bro. Like think about this. Think about this. People think Shador and Shiloh are silver spoon kids, right? Because their daddy is rich, right?
Mm-hmm.
But think about, and I'm not going to name all the things, but think of all the public embarrassing things that family endured while they were really small children.
That's fair.
You understand?
That's fair.
You understand? So you think them little motherfuckers ain't tough? They didn't grow up tough. They got a will and a determination and can look people in the eye in the midst of where other people would cower down and be because Deion has been, and I say that to say this. Deion has been through some things in his life. His life is not without turmoil or controversy. And he's been the same guy when he's the number 5 pick overall, and he's the same guy when he has bladder cancer. Bro, I don't know that I'm the same guy when I'm the number 5 pick overall and the same guy when I have bladder cancer.
I'll say this. I think to your point, what are you at your lowest? And that's the part of Deion that people should take inspiration in, right? Because when you're going through your worst, when you're at your lowest, when God puts the trial on you, can I still be the guy that when God had me as the 5th round pick? Can I still be that guy? Can I still have the same energy? Can I still talk about him in the same way? Can I still praise him in the same way? Can I still talk to my kids in the same way? And not to the point where he wanted his family to feel sorry for him. It's that I'm going to keep you away from it, and I'm going to walk through this thing by myself because that's how God made me, right? So when you see it, you're like, when I was listening to the press conference, all I could think was, wow, like that is because Deion has flaws. We're all human. We all have flaws. But he lives that thing. So as a man speaketh, so shall he is, right? Or so shall a man thinketh, so shall he is. He lives that out day in and day out because Rocky, me and you, bro, and you, me, who a normal individual who doesn't have that Deion arrogance and confidence and aura, bro, I'm telling you right now, I am like literally standing out in the rain and crying because I think my life is over. Like, I'm no joke. And I'm telling everybody because I want everybody to feel sad for me.
Look about this, man. See, me and Deion around, he's a little older than me, but we grew up in the same era, right? And I say this because he's done a lot of the things that I wanted to do in life. And I admire him for doing it. He wanted to make it to the pros. He made it to the pros. I wanted to make it to the pros. He wanted to buy his mother a big brand new house and for her never to work again. He did that. But as a man, knowing who wanted to do that for his mother, who aspired to do those things, I recognize how difficult those things are. Mm-hmm. I recognize how when to believe that you can do it is one, to think you can do it is one thing, to believe you can do it is another, and then to go out and do it is something totally different. And then you talk about just the whole situation as a father, who he is as a father, and what is and what whether it's DeAndre, whether it's Bucky, whether it's Shiloh, Shador, or Bossy. We all know troubles and situations that all his kids have dealt with, and he's pulled them out. He's helped pull them all out of it, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You did like, and as a father, that's what you want to be. That's what, to me, that's my greatest accomplishment as a father, is being able to be there for my kids, and anything that my kids need or want, I can somehow assist them in getting where they want to go. Man, like I say, I know Deion has a lot of flaws, and again, I think a lot of people will understand that a lot of his flaws come from that unshakable, undeniable confidence that he believes that he has in himself and in God. So when you tell him he can't do something, he is not paying you no mind.
Fact.
When you tell him he shouldn't be doing something, he's paying you no mind. When you say he can't be a head coach and can't win the SWAC, and when he get hired for Jackson State, he pays you no mind. When he goes to the Big 12 and y'all say, when y'all tell him his son is not a NFL prospect, is not an NFL quarterback, he pays you no mind. When they tell Travis Hunter he's wasted his career going to Jackson State, and telling him that he has no chance winning the Heisman Trophy, Deion Sanders, what? He pays you no mind. And because he pays people no mind, I think they get frustrated and they get upset and they find a reason not to like him and they hate him because he believes and does things that you just ain't able to do. And is that his fault?
Yeah, no, that's not his fault. I mean, no, yes and no, but at the end of the day, it's not. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just who he is, and that's who he has always been.
That's what he believes about him, Scotty.
Yeah.
Versus what you believe about you. That's the difference.
That's the difference.
He believes it and goes out and does it.
Yeah.
I wanted to do, like I say, I can accept. I wanted to do the things that he ended up doing in life, bro. I just didn't have it in me. I just wasn't willing to pay whatever cost, whatever, right? But at the end of the day, he went out and done it. Like I say, Scotty, you get on me about all this stuff. But me and you done talked offline, right? If you could tell me
Here you
greater
go. Here you go.
American sports
Here you go.
story than Deion Sanders, please text it to me today. Because I don't know one. From the projects in Fort Myers, Florida, to press conference in Colorado and everything that's transpired in between, I don't know one that's better, bro. I just can't. He done defied all logic. He done beat every. Who else after cancer? Who else can you beat?
Dog, I'm done. Hey, I'm done. Hey, bro.
In the grand scheme of things, but again,
Oh.
tell me a better. Y'all put it in the chat. In the comment. Give me a better sports story than Coach Prime. And I'm not talking about Coach Prime just the player. I'm saying Coach Prime, the player, the TV host, the father, the husband, the man himself, and all that in the whole trajectory that he's been on for the past 56, 57 years. Give me a better sports story, and let me. I want to say I'm gonna be in the chat. Look,
All right,
I
Rocky.
don't believe there is one. I don't believe there is a greater sports story. You can't tell the Mannings don't even compare.
Muhammad Ali. I'm gonna go with Muhammad Ali. I'm gonna go with Muhammad Ali. I'm gonna stick with Muhammad Ali. That's. I do agree. Somebody HBCU prototype said it should be a movie. I do agree. It could be. Should definitely be a movie. But I'm definitely. Somebody said Magic. No, I can't go with Magic Johnson. He was out there cheating. I can't go with Magic. Magic out there cheating.
And here's what I'm saying. Because he involved HBCUs in his story, it makes it also the most unique sports story of all time.
That's fair. I'll give you that.
All right, I'm out of here, guys. Man,
right.
Yeah, hey, I'll be listening to you.
All right, Rock, boy, you funny. 9197 coming to you. 9197 coming to you.
Man, what's up, Scotty? How you living, man?
Man, it's good, man. What's your name? Where you call from?
It's Earl. I'm calling from DC.
Talk to me.
But I just wanted to say, man, big ups to you. I'm gonna echo what Rocky said. I've been watching you for a while, and I know the criticisms that you done gave him. So big ups to you for being a man and apologizing where it is due. I actually lost my girl this year, April 22nd, 2025, to ovarian cancer.
I'm sorry to hear that, Brody. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah. But that's the one thing I wanted to tell you. That's one of the things that I wanted to push back on you on by you saying that you would shut down. I don't believe you would, brother. I think you're strong enough. And I think you underestimating yourself. I don't think that you don't seem like the type of person that would just shut it down and quit in that moment. I said, man, me and my girl, we used to watch your show. We used to go back and forth all the time. She used to agree with you actually about she felt like it was messed up for Prime to lead them kids at Jackson. And I told her, business is business. So we used to, have a little fun debates about it.
Business is business.
Man, I really believe that you will find a way. That's what it's all about. Because once you give up, the fight is over.
That's fair.
So give yourself some credit. You've been through a lot just watching you grow within the space. So, don't paint yourself as somebody that would just shut it down. Like I said, man, my girl, same thing, man. She worked up until the day that she could physically work no more. That was about 2 weeks before she passed. So, what I'm saying? It's in you, brother. And I just wanted to give you that word of encouragement, man, because you help a lot of people get through their days and get through hard moments, whether you know that or not. But yeah, that's all I had, man. Appreciate you and keep going, brother.
Hey, man, I appreciate the call, Earl, man, and sorry for your loss, Brody. Real talk.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Let me say this, and I gotta give a shout out to Earl, man, and he made a solid point. I've gotten calls, I've gotten messages of people going through cancer and people going through surgeries, and they're watching the show or they'll watch Outspoken, they'll watch me and Mike or whichever show just to bring them some laugh and some humor. So I always appreciate being somebody's relief in their storm. You know what I'm saying? Just for that moment, 5, 10, 15 minutes, that your mind can get off of what you're going through. And for me, my thing is, you can't go to hell if you're getting good in this space. My thing is overall, man, I really hope that, the Sanders family is mentally okay, because once you hear that C word, once you hear that C word, your life changes. It does. You know, good, bad, or indifferent, or the worry about it. And you know, to have a whole new bladder, that's cool. Like the technology. I'm sorry, I'm just going. I know I'm skipping around, but to have a whole new bladder, like think about that. They built him a whole new bladder from his intestines. That is crazy work. But you know, overall, I just. You know, I went to some live streams to watch. I watched it on ESPN Plus, but I hopped and skipped around to some live streams that I saw, and the stuff that I saw in the comments was really sad, right? Because even me, right, to make the post that I made, and I'll play it again because if you again, I said it early, I'm gonna say it in the middle. I apologize to the Sanders family because I was ready. Y'all know me. The Sanders family know me. I stay ready, never got to get ready. So I was up all night looking for this receipt because I was like, oh, he about to pull a Urban Meyer. And this is what I had ready. Or he finishes out his contract. Get what I'm saying? So I think it could go two ways. Deion either leaves when Shador leaves because he's ill and tired. Right? I was ready. Because that's the game that I play in this space, right? I stay with receipts. I come on, but I had to jump on here. And again, I say this all the time. As loud as the disrespect is, the apology has to be twice as loud. And I am apologizing now. I apologize earlier, and I'll keep apologizing to the Sanders family because of it. And I never want the sports and athletics and the entertainment to ever cross over to humanity, right? Because again, I come on this platform every single day and I tell you guys I'm a believer. My wife talks directly to God. I believe in Jesus Christ being my Lord and Savior. All those things qualify for me. So once you start talking about humanity and you talk about life and death and just the simple of being a human being and being on this planet and him talking about his journey with God and how God brought him through, I'm always going to be on your side because I know what God did for me. So that's why this show is taking a different direction. But if he would have came on here and talked about some headaches, if he would have came on here and talked about some headaches, if he would have came on here and talked about whatever else that was, you know, my elbow hurt, I was ready. But that's not the case. And I'm okay with apologizing because at the end of the day, I'll be the loudest one on here talking about what he ain't do right and what he did and that's my point. When I went around to these different live streams and I'm watching, it really humbled me because I'm like, man, like, is this how people feel about the man? Like, again, I say this all the time. I tell people all the time, you got to separate the player of prime from the coach of prime. But prime is still Deion Sanders is still a father and a man. And people were saying some of the most malicious things in live streams, like, oh, he wants the attention and he wants this and he wants that. And I'm like, you can't even respect the man, not the character of Coach Prime, not the Coach Prime effect, but just the man himself. How can we not just respect the man's journey and respect the man's trials? Because let me say, and again, I'm gonna say this, and I say this wholeheartedly because I try to. If you were going through his shoes, you would want the sympathy, you would want the understanding, you would want the encouragement that he was receiving from players and people in his inner circle. You would want that. So people jumping on a live stream talking about, you know, this was for attention and this was for this and he just wants this and this didn't mean anything. I'm just like, damn, like you can't even root for the conquering of cancer. Like, you're so hurt by whatever Prime has done or did or said or moved. You're so hurt that you can't even champion the conquering of cancer. You can't even champion the conquering mentality that Prime had. You can't even champion the testimony he is. You can't even champion the transparency. Like, if you're not a man, listen to me, and I know all the men on here going to feel me when I say this. If you're not a man, you do not understand what it took for Prime to say, I can't even hold my pee. I'm peeing on myself as a man and as Prime being Prime. Like, not Deion Sanders. You're talking about a whole alter ego of a man who is above, who is this? I mean, he's this figure. He's this guy. He's the cool dad. He's the cool uncle. He's the cool player. And as a man, when he said that in the transparency, I said that's different. That's different. If you're not a man, you don't understand what he's talking about. Talking about a catheter. Talking about, come on, man. To speak to that transparency, to let you know what's really behind the curtain, to take a peek behind the curtain and really tell you, I got to wear Depends. I got to wear Depends as a man. Like, what? That takes an inner confidence and an inner, you got to believe God. So you got to believe your testimony and God. So to be that, the humility, thank you, Lord, the humility that he showed in that moment to speak to somebody who is embarrassed because they have to do it, or embarrassed. Now, mind you, Prime's still Prime up there with the overalls, with the jewelry. He's still him, cowboy hat. But I want to tell you about what's going on behind the curtain and the humility to do that. I'm telling you right now, if you're not a man, you don't understand what it took for him to say that. You don't understand it. I'm telling you, you don't. And somebody said in the comments, as a black man, I'm telling you right now, you don't understand it. So I'm telling you, for me, you know what I'm saying? For me, I think at the end of the day, this is for me. Again, I'm going to be keeping a buck with you. I'm still going to critique Prime as a coach and how they move and how they might call the plays or do whatever. But when I tell you I'm rooting for Colorado this year, because you have to respect everything he's putting on the line to coach those boys. It's no different. Listen, I'm so serious. The same respect that Deion deserves of coaching those boys is the same guy who's at your local rec, who is in the hood, trying to get these young athletes to come out and play football so they can get their grades right, so they're not on the streets. Deion, to me, is in that. Is that transformational, because a lot of these kids came to Colorado for Prime, and for him to put his life, listen to me, he's putting his life and his health on the line to go out there and coach boys, and that was his focus. That's what I want to get back to. Colorado, listen, that man deserves every penny. Whatever Colorado is paying that Bama, he deserves every penny. 1538 coming to you.
Yo, what's up, Scotty? What's going on, man?
What's up? What's your name? Where you calling from, man?
It's OD, man. ODB calling from Charlotte.
What's up, ODB, man? Good to hear from you.
Chilling, man. Yeah, man. First time calling, man. Been listening to your show forever. So, I just want to call, man, because I'm talking about, basically talking about everything that's happening with Prime. So I lost my pops like 10 years ago, 2014.
I'm sorry to hear that, bro.
He had, yeah, no problem, man. He had, so he started out with prostate cancer 15 years prior to that. He received radiation. Then fast forward 15 years later, he was diagnosed with sarcoma, which was a cancer, was exposure to radiation in the same area where he had treatment. So basically the treatment from his first bout of cancer gave him cancer the second time around. Right. So when he went in for a simple operation, because he pulled his groin, and he went in and had the surgery, they immediately opened him up and closed him back up, because they felt something was wrong, did a biopsy and all that good stuff. So the doctor came in to tell us everything that was going on with him. This is the outlook, 1%, basically tell him he had anywhere between 6 weeks to 6 months to live, right? So I'm the only boy in the family, 2 or 3 sisters and my wife. So as the news was coming out, it was registering to me and my sisters, my mother. So everybody started breaking down. My pop sees it. He stops the doctor. He said, "Doctor, get out for a second. I need to talk to my family." So he pulls us in. He said, "Hey, listen, this is how we're going to handle this. This is how we're going to proceed." He basically was telling us how we were going to deal with his death, because we were falling apart. and we couldn't take what was about to happen. So it kind of when Prime was doing his speech and telling everything what was going on, it resonated with me because in that moment, I know you guys talk about how you don't know how you will react, but in that moment, it didn't become about him. It became about how we were going to moving forward, how we were going to go moving forward. And then some of the same things that Prime was talking about, having a catheter and all that good stuff, he went through all of that. And to me, it just shows so much strength because here he is, somebody that's on their deathbed, and he's telling us how we need to proceed, how we need to handle, what we need to do after he's gone. And to me, that showed like so much strength because even to the point where his friends would come to visit, and I kid you not, Scotty, they would walk in the room and literally turn around and leave like 2 minutes later because he would say to them like, "Hey," they couldn't take looking at him. He was like, "Don't come back and see me. Remember me how remember me how I was previously," because he could see it on their face how it was too much for them to even look at him. And even to the point where he was in hospice, I would get upset because his brother, my uncle, people wouldn't come to see him. And I was like, why nobody coming to see him? And my mom was like, you got to understand, people handle death differently. You know, you trying to be there for your daddy in his final days. They remember your daddy from a child and they can't stand to look at him like that. So you say you can't be all the way mad at him. I said, I understand, feel a certain type of way,
Yeah.
but you can't be mad at him because you don't know what they're dealing with. So I just wanted to share that with you because you say you don't know how you're going to react. And to me, it's like that was one of the final life lessons that he shared with me. It was like, you know, it's bigger than in that moment, it's bigger than you. And then somebody's always going to watch behind you to see how you handle the situation.
That's
And
good.
in essence, that was his testimony. So I just wanted to share that with you and
That's
everybody
good,
else.
ODB. Listen, bro. Like, first of all, I thank you for your transparency because, again, you know that's your story and that's your family's testimony, and I just appreciate you, you know, feeling comfortable to come on the platform and speak on that, man. But you know, that's tough, man. That
Yeah,
because it, you know, with my grandfather when he went to the nursing home, and you know, I was so used to seeing, you know, you're so used to seeing somebody in a certain
right.
way, you know what I'm saying,
Yep,
and how they would do and how they would move, and you know, for me, you know, Prime's confidence in that situation was what really resonated for me because it's like
exactly.
even through all of that to still like with your dad to still have the wherewithal to speak to you guys in a way of like, hey, listen, like it's I'm gonna be all right, but y'all got to keep moving through it. You know what I'm saying? That's a
Exactly.
different level of strength, man. I just appreciate your call, ODB. Real talk, Brody.
Yeah, no worries, man. That's all I wanted to share, man. You have a good one.
Man, you too, Brody.
All right, now.
JB, coming to you.
Hey Scotty, how you doing,
What's
sir?
up, man? Talk to me.
Yeah, man. So I saw the diagnosis this morning. First of all, I just want to say prayers up to everyone that's involved and stuff like that. I caught the tail end of what your previous caller was talking about being there to know how to respond. Um, I just had a friend recently get diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, which
Mm,
is basically a death sentence. Not so many words. Um, I also had an aunt that passed away. And this was back when I was in like college stuff like that, bone marrow cancer. But the one thing I would definitely say is that love them and appreciate people why they're here. If you never ever know. My father passed in 2016. Um,
mm,
he died a month before my son was born, and it was like a reminiscence of a stroke. And it was the last thing I remember him. I guess when he was still all there for the most part was it was going to a different hospital room, and he kept saying it's like, and he like hugged me tighter and more close than ever before. And the one thing he had said was, "I'm going to pray for you." And I'm like, okay, he's going to recover. He's going to be okay. But then it's like, I mean, it's like he knew that his body's going to start shutting down.
mm-hmm.
Um, and
Hey, JB, you're breaking up. I'm gonna let you go, JB. You're breaking up. But you know, I'll say this. If I got some more callers, I'll let them on. But I'm gonna say this. And Sean, I'm gonna hit you up after the show. Um, but what I'm gonna say is, first of all, I 100% agree with Deion. Go get checked, right? Like listen, man. I'm a veteran. I don't even go to the VA enough times as I should. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm gonna definitely try to go get checked sometime this week, or whenever the VA can let me in. But I hear this all the time. Health is wealth, right? Like a lot of us, we are in this life and we want these certain, we want a certain bank account number, and we want a certain house, and we want a certain car. But if you're not able to drive it, if you're not able to spend it, if you're not able to enjoy it, what does it really matter? Because at the end of the day, you're only going to wish to get better. That's really what that's really what it's going to come down to. You're only going to wish to get better, right? So health is wealth. Go get checked. Go make sure you're in the best. If you need to go walking, if you need whatever you need to do, just stay active, right? I'll say this, and I'm gonna get up out of here. I used to have these odd jobs, you know what I'm saying? Because I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. So, I always did like IT as my steady job, but I would always have these odd jobs on the side to make extra money. And one time I worked for a final expense company, right? I worked for a final expense company, and a final expense is where they take care of like your funeral, and and they do all the stuff for you, right? And the people that I would go see to do these final expense to do these final expense presentations were like, it was always like a black man, a black woman, and I'm just like, man, like this is crazy. And I'm talking about they would be overweight, and they would have diabetes, and they'll have high blood pressure, and a lot of times that I would talk to the guys that I work with, they would be like, yeah, that's just the going rate. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. And I think for a lot of us, and I'm speaking to our community, is, half the battle is just being active. It's just getting up and walking. Just you could, just getting up and walking up some stairs, or walking around the block, or walking a mile or two a day would help, a lot of situations in our health, of just, being more active in the situation. So, whatever that is, getting checked, being active, going to the pool, going walking, going to the gym, wherever you're at, just start. I know this is not my usual type of shows, and I'm usually, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna say this again. You can't look past humanity, right? Of just being a human being. I would never wish ill on anybody. Again, I could critique your job. I could critique what you do. I could critique that you're not a good coach, or, you're not a good basketball coach. You're not a good, O-line coach, or you're not, whatever that is, right? But at the end of the day, who you are and who God made you to be, the human, the person, that part, I'm always going to wish well for you, right? If I say you should lose your job because you can't coach football, that means you need to get a new profession. That is not your, I'm not saying that you're a bad person. I'm just saying you need to get a new job. I don't know what that might be. Use your degree of whatever. Go become a TSA agent, okay? Become a shoe salesman, a car salesman. I'm just saying go get a new profession, okay? I'm not saying you're a bad person. You just can't coach football. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Stop taking people's money, right? But and again, when you're talking about somebody's life, their health, their family, so that's a different line that you just don't cross, right? And for me, that's just not who I am, right? So as much as people probably wanted to hear me say something or do something or whatever, that's just not what I do and who I am. But I will say this. I'm always lurking, okay? I'm always lurking. So I see it all. I'm like Miss Cleo. I see it all, right? But overall, man. And let me say this. I'm gonna kind of shake it up a little bit, because I'm gonna do an individual show about it, and I want to do a show about Deion Sanders. I'm probably gonna come back on here. I'm doing Outspoken later tonight, 8:30, 9 o'clock. Eastern Standard Time. So I'll be on here for Outspoken. Me and Perry going over swag schedules, guessing, some records and all that stuff. So we'll do that. But I'm going to get back on here at about 3:30ish, and I want to talk about Shedeur Sanders. And I know I want to talk about Shedeur Sanders. Okay, I do. I really do. So that's what it is. I'm gonna end this right here, man. I appreciate. We use food as a way to cope with stress. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Go to the gym, families. Don't worry about the results. Just start. Just start, man. Just absolutely start. So listen, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. Prayers to the Sanders family. Prayer to the extending of Sanders family, man. I hope you guys just rally around your dad and your uncle, or your brother, brother-in-law, whatever it is, and just shower love. And the people out there today listening to me, man, just tell somebody you love them. You know what I'm saying? Like your mama, your daddy, your grandfather, your grandmother, because again, you don't know. Tomorrow is never promised. It's not. Right. And make sure you guys get right with your Lord and Savior. Again, whoever you pray to is whoever you pray to. Right. I'm not here to convert you. I just know what God has done for my life. And I believe in Jesus Christ dying on the cross for my sins, because ain't no way I would have the wife that I have in the life that I have if it wasn't for Jesus. So that's just me and God. So yeah, teach his own. Right. So that is what it is. So until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm a holla. God bless.